Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we are going to learn one of the absolutely most useful writing skills in the English language, and that's how to write brilliant letters with total confidence. Whether you're just reaching out to a close friend or making an important request to your school principal, mastering this skill is literally going to serve you well for the rest of your life. So get comfortable and let's dive right into this together.
Here's our agenda for today's lesson. First, we'll look at the art of letter writing. Then, we'll compare formal and informal letters. After that, we're going to master the letter format, learn some useful phrases and expressions, go through a step-by-step writing process, and finally, finish up with some editing and final tips.
Right then, Section 1, the art of letter writing and why we actually still write them.
So, take a few seconds to really think about this question. Why do we still write letters today when we all have emails and text messages? It's a brilliant question, isn't it? It might seem a bit old-fashioned to some, but letter writing actually has a very special and powerful place in our modern world.
You see, while emails are quick and easy, taking the time to structure a proper letter shows great respect, care, and professional polish. By definition, a letter is just a written or printed communication that helps us present ourselves in a positive light, whether that's academically, professionally, or personally. Whether you're applying for a scholarship, thanking a friend, or explaining an absence, a well-crafted letter tells the reader that you are thoughtful and capable.
Moving on to Section 2, formal versus informal letters. Or, as I like to think of it, heart language versus respectful language.
We can think of informal letters as using your heart language. This is strictly for your friends, your parents, and relatives, where you can share your personal feelings freely. On the other hand, formal letters use respectful language. You use this one for principals, teachers, and offices. The tone here absolutely must be straightforward, polite, and official.
Take a look at this comparison. Notice how your audience completely changes the tone and the rules of your writing. If your audience is your family, well, your tone is friendly and personal, and your format doesn't have to be extremely strict. But if you're writing to principals, editors, or companies, your tone becomes straightforward and polite, and you are expected to use a fixed, very strict format.
Section 3, Mastering the Letter Format. Let's build that structure.
Think of this simple formula as a recipe for a perfect letter to a friend or a cousin. You begin with your address at the top, followed by the date. Then you offer a warm greeting. Next comes your message, the main reason you are writing in the first place. And finally, you wrap the whole thing up with a friendly closing. It's simple, it's clean, and it's very easy to remember. Now, as you study letter writing, you'll often hear the word salutation. Don't want to confuse you. It's honestly just a fancy word for your greeting. A proper salutation uses the recipient's name followed by a comma. For a friend, Dear Suman is perfect. For a teacher, Respected Sir sets exactly the right tone.
When you get to the main message, always try to use this easy three-paragraph method. Paragraph 1 simply asks, why are you writing? Paragraph 2 gives the main details and information, and paragraph 3 provides your conclusion, wishes, or request. Doing this keeps your writing beautifully organized and stops it from becoming one big, confusing block of text that's really hard for your teacher to read.
Okay, now for the formal formula. Notice how this adds a few extra steps. We still have our sender's address and the date, but now we absolutely must add the receiver's address. And very importantly, a clear subject line right before our greeting and message. Finally, we finish with a closing. This subject line is vital, so the busy official knows exactly why you're writing before they even read your letter.
Section 4. Useful phrases and expressions. Let's look at the best words to start and end your letters.
You can really hear the difference here between a chatty message to a friend and a polite request to a teacher. A warm, informal starter like, "How are you?" or "I hope you are doing well," uses that heart language we talked about. But starting with "I respectfully state that" or "I kindly request you to" immediately tells the reader, hey, this is an official matter. Memorizing just a few of these will make starting your letters so much easier.
And just as we start properly, we must end properly. When closing a formal letter, use one of these respectful sign-offs: yours faithfully, yours sincerely, or yours obediently. And here is a crucial tip. Always remember to leave about 4 lines of blank space below your sign-off for your handwritten signature with your typed or printed name right below that. It looks incredibly professional.
Section 5, the step-by-step writing process. How we get from an idea onto the paper.
If you follow these 5 steps carefully, you will never feel lost when your teacher asks you to write a letter. Step 1. Plan your ideas and identify your recipient. Step 2. Choose whether you need the formal or informal format. Step 3. Write your first draft. Step 4. Check your grammar and punctuation. And Step 5. Edit and rewrite it all neatly. Writing is a process, and taking it step by step just completely removes all the stress. Finally, Section 6. Editing and Final Tips. Let's polish up your work.
Before you hand in any piece of writing, pause and ask yourself these questions to catch common mistakes. Did I use the correct format? Are my spelling and grammar actually correct? Did I use paragraphs? Is my punctuation correct? Capital letters, commas, and full stops. And finally, did I include the date and my signature? Going through this quick checklist practically guarantees a polished piece of work.
Oh, and speaking of the date, here's a very important tip that trips up so many students. When writing the date correctly, choose one clear style and do not mix them. You can write 13 May 2026 or May 13th, 2026. But whatever you do, please avoid using the little letters like TH or ST right next to a comma. Keep it simple, keep it clean, and keep it professional.
Okay, let's test what we've learned today. If you're writing a leave application to your principal, is it a formal or an informal letter? Take a few seconds to really think about your audience and the tone you need to use here.
Spot on. The answer is a formal letter. Because you are writing to a school official about official business, you absolutely must use respectful language and that fixed format with the clear subject line we learned about earlier. Excellent job. Now it's your turn for some independent practice. Can you write an informal letter to a friend describing your recent school vacation? Grab a piece of paper, a good pen, and try using all the wonderful steps we learned today. Use that heart language, remember your 3 paragraphs, and don't forget your date. And as you start writing, I want to leave you with this one final, provocative thought. In a world full of easily deleted emails and disappearing texts, who in your life truly deserves the lasting gift of a handwritten letter from you today? Happy writing, everyone!